to kick off Entrepreneur Mondays, we have one of our own, one of your own, a student. In fact, he's a sophomore, Aiden McCray. He's majoring in business management. He's a familiar face on campus thanks to his numerous leadership roles and a big feature story in Crescent magazine. If you haven't seen this, I passed it out to everybody here who was here last Wednesday. It's a great story, and I saw the author was outside. I was chatting with him for a while. I told him it was a great story, so check it out. Aiden serves as an INQ 101 peer mentor, an Owl Flight to Excellence mentor, on the inaugural Bronze Leadership Program coordinator, and an orientation ambassador. He's all over the place. Additionally, he hosted shows and events around campus, and I can tell you he's a really nice guy because I met him for the first time, asking him to come, if he'd come do this, and he couldn't say yes fast enough. That's how excited he is about sharing his experience with you, his fellow students. Beyond his contributions as a student leader, Aiden is a successful entrepreneur, which is why he's with us here today. From his bedroom in Stratford, Connecticut, he restores and customizes sneakers. And I don't know if you can't see him, but I wore my Nikes in honor of Aiden today, showcasing his creativity and entrepreneurial spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the owner and sole proprietor of McCray Footwear Services, Mr. Aiden McCray, to tell you all about a Southern sophomore's soulful, as in the bottoms of your shoes, success. Thank you very much.
1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, y'all hear me. So before I get started, I just want to say thank you, Dr. Pepper. Thank you to the School of Business, building staff. Thank you to all of y'all for hearing me yap for the next hour or so. I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. I absolutely hate public speaking. I'm not gonna lie. So bear with me, right? If I mess up a word, if I zone out, just bear with me, all right? With that, I also need energy. I'm gonna try to make this as interactive as possible. So, you know, if I ask y'all questions, just answer, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna give me energy, right? Right? And okay, all right. So, once again, I'm Aiden McCray. I'm a sophomore here at Southern Connecticut State University. I major in business management. You may have seen me or know me as an orientation ambassador. You may know me as a peer mentor. Apparently, I'm the host of Southern events now and stuff, so you may have known me for that. Or you may know me as the big back at Con, right? And so what you may or may not know is that I'm also an entrepreneur. I restore and customize shoes for my business called McCray Footwear Services. And so, how did McCray Footwear Services begin? So we're gonna go back to freshman year of high school. So we're gonna go back to around March of 2020. So we had the COVID-19 pandemic, full distance learning. And so one day, I was on YouTube, right? I was on YouTube scrolling. I probably should have been in class, but I wasn't, probably in math. And I stopped on this video. This guy, his name is Vic Almighty. He is a restorer. He's a restorer and a customizer for a restoration brand called Rejuvenator. And so I stopped on this video, and it piqued my interest for a few reasons. When I was watching the video and watching other videos of his, I was able to relate to it. So I figured, one, and at the time, like, I was looking for a change too in life because, At the time, I was looking for a change in life, specifically in my fashion, right? My footwear was crazy, not in a good way, and my fashion was even terrible, right? I remember I had a whole bunch of different Air Force Ones. Y'all know what Air Force Ones are, right? Right. Okay. So I had a whole bunch of different Air Force Ones with like matching sweatsuits. I was looking crazy. And there's Chaz right there, who I was in high school and middle school with, that can attest to that. I was looking crazy, but you couldn't tell me nothing. I was Mr. Put It On, but I was looking horrendous. This is what I was looking like, man. I had the tracksuit, I had the purple pants, or purple shoes with a purple jacket, with the tan pants. I was looking crazy. But you couldn't tell me nothing. Could not tell me nothing. I was Mr. Put It On. But, you know, I was transitioning from 8th grade to high school, so I wanted to, you know, oh, you taking a picture, that's crazy work, Chad. But I wanted to, you know, I wanted to change my style, right? So that's also the reason why I related to that video. And I figured two things. On the customization side, I used to customize and restore WWE action figures, right, as a kid. So I'm a big wrestling fan. Do we have any wrestling fans here? There we go. Okay. Got some wrestling fans, and I actually brought some of the old wrestlers that I customized if I want to pass around. This is what greatness looks like, you know what I'm saying? If you want to pass it around, I don't know if you want to check out what I used to do, but I used to do this. And so I figured, okay, I could pass it around. I figured, okay, if I restored and customized wrestlers, I could most definitely do it on shoes. You know what I'm saying? And so, on the customization side, I was able to relate to that. On the restoration side, I figured I could buy used shoes, fix them up, and expand my collection, right? It was very selfish, a little bit. It was a little selfish. I wasn't thinking about doing it for other people. I wasn't thinking about a business, right? I didn't think about a business until I talked to my grandfather, right? My grandfather's over there, and he playing with the wrestlers and stuff. My grandfather, you know, that's my hero. That's my guy. He's also my #1 fan, my biggest supporter, right? Anything I want to do in life, he'll put the money up, the time for it, sacrifice, whatever the case is. And so, but I also know how to get my grandfather, you know what I'm saying? So, the key to getting him to do whatever I want is just, he gotta think it's cool, right? So, I showed him the video, and my grandpa, check this out, you know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, this is cool, we got the airbrush, you know what I'm saying? The paint, used to do this with the wrestlers, you could do that. I was like, exactly, I can't do that. I have my hand out, you know what I'm saying? I need that money, I need money. So, being my #1 fan, my grandfather reaches in his back pocket, takes his wallet out, gives me his credit card and says, buy whatever you need. And so, I'm gonna just put a pin mark on that. My grandfather gave a 14-year-old a credit card. A 14-year-old that didn't know the difference between credit and debit and loans and bank accounts and none of that. I didn't have no bank account. I just knew about cash. That's it. And at the time, me and my grandfather had, you know, a little thing where I'll give him the cash, he'll give me the card, and I'll spend the money that I gave him cash on the card, right? But also, and this is his fault, he also said around that same time that, you know, he was tired of doing that, so he's gonna give me his card, and that's just gonna be my card, right? And I'll load up the money on it, and whatever, take it out, right? And so, back to the story, he hands me his credit card, right? Says, buy whatever you need. And $3,000 later, I bought everything I needed and more, right? I was buying material, but I also bought clothes, new shoes, food, all that. You know what I'm saying? I needed a backup pair in case I mess these projects up, you know what I'm saying? So, he wasn't very happy about that, but, you know, later on, laughed it off. And a few weeks later, on March 25th, 2020, was the first time that I ever put a soft bristle brush on the sole of a shoe, right? The first time that I put a paintbrush on my new canvas. And so my first project was on a pair of these Things of Beauties right here called Jordan 8 Orange Blazes. Now these are from 2005. So the project that I had to do with these is I just had to clean them and do a midsole repaint. So midsole repaint, think of it like this, right? Y'all can see the red dot, right? All right, so we got the upper, the midsole, and the undersole, right? So I just had to repaint this gray part and this white part and this gray part right there. That's all I had to do. Now in order to do that, I had to strip that old paint off and then apply the new paint. In order to strip that new paint off, I had to use alcohol or acetone, right? And so, I was new, didn't really know what I was doing. I was just trying to watch the video and, you know, mirror what I saw in the video. And so, I put the cotton ball in the alcohol, right? And I'm rubbing. I don't see no paint coming off though. It's not doing what the video was showing, right? So being new and impatient, very impatient, I decided to use the acetone. And now with acetone is stronger than alcohol, and you know, depending on the age of the shoe, again, this at that point it was 15 years old, that shoe, but now it's 20. And I know better now, but at the time that was a 15-year-old shoe, so the acetone could, you know, potentially damage the midsole, right? And so I used that acetone, put the cotton ball in the acetone, I'm scrubbing away. I'm putting all sorts of elbow grease in it. Okay, paint coming off. I keep going. And soon enough, chunks of midsole was coming off and it damaged the material. So the first project that I ever did, I failed. And, you know, I was discouraged. Of course, like I was discouraged, but I wasn't defeated, right? I didn't let that stop me continue to work on my craft, right? Very important. And so the next project that I decided to do was a custom for my grandfather. Now, I wanted to do a Lakers-inspired custom shoe for him. You know, this was one of my old shoes. It didn't fit me anymore. I figured, you know what, it's his size, let me make it for him. So, I'm gonna ask y'all this. How do y'all think I did on that shoe? Anyone, just start yelling out. How do you think I did? Good, bad? What's up, Chance? Decent?
Like $3,000.
That's right. Anyone else? One more person. Good, bad, decent? Okay. Yeah, I absolutely failed that. I absolutely failed. It was terrible. In fact, I have it here.
Now that's not bad though.
I'll let you see it. Here, you'll be the first one. I have it here. Y'all can pass it around. See what greatness looks like again. You know what I'm saying? Pass it around. Take it out the box if you want to. Yeah, I absolutely failed that. It was terrible. At least to me. To me, it was terrible. All right. Let others judge, but I still handed it to my grandfather though. So I look at him, he is laughing. So I give him the shoe, right? And I know that is bad. I know that I don't like it. Look at her face. Look. I knew I didn't like it, right? So I had my head down giving it to him, and he took them. He looked at it, he was like, oh man, I like these. Yeah, I like these. Got the purple, got the yellow for the Lakers. Yellow's his favorite color, right? I like that. I'm gonna wear these tonight. Keep going, keep doing your thing. And so when I left the room, like, I walked in discouraged, but I walked out like confident, right? First of all, I was surprised that he actually liked it because I knew they were bad. But I walked out confident. And so, you know, it lit a fire in me to continue to do this thing, right? And it's funny because I asked him like years later how he felt about it, and before I could even finish the sentence, he's like, those were terrible. Those were absolutely terrible. I just didn't want to discourage you, right? But that's important. It's important to have people in your life that's supporting you, that believe in you, right? It may not be your best work, but, you know, they see the potential, right? And so that's very important. And throughout this presentation, I'm gonna have like, you know, takeaways that I want y'all to leave with, right? So this story, you know, pertains to that first takeaway.
He's seen the vision.
He saw the vision. He did. He was a visionary for sure. So a couple weeks go by, I'll get a haircut. Now, shout out to my boy, Zeke the barber. You feel me? He been cutting my hair since I was fly. I don't know what you laughing. I was fly. Nah, he been cutting. Yeah. He been cutting my hair since I was 4 years old. I'm 19 now. He's been my barber for 15 years. Right? Cheated on him about 3 times. That's funny. Right? But, you know, one day, he's been my barber all this time, but I never really talked to him like that. Like, I was just eating lollipops and watching YouTube and stuff, right? So, one day, you know, we started small talk, little conversation, you know, how was your day, how was school? Like, what do you like to do? Like, what do you do on your free time, right? And so I told him, I was like, man, I'm trying to do this sneaker customization thing and this cleaning thing, right? And what started as a simple small talk conversation turned into a bond that, you know, hopefully lasts a lifetime. And so he proceeds to tell me that he used to do the same thing a few years back too. So he used to do the customization thing, the cleaning thing. And so we bonded over that. And so he then tells me, yo, I got a project for you. I was like, all right, cool. And the project was on a pair of these 1999 Nike sneakers, right? And so I've never seen these a day in my life. And so he also wanted me to do a sole reglue. So basically just reattaching the bottom of the shoe back to the shoe, right? Easier said than done, but that was the project. And so I was nervous because I never did this before. Like, I just failed the last 2 projects. I don't know why you want me to do a pair or do a project on this pair, and this is a rare pair of shoes, and I don't know what I'm really doing. And on top of that, Zeke did not help me at all, like relieving my nerves. Like, cause how can I describe Zeke? Zeke is, what's the word? A a-hole. That's exactly what he is. He's an a-hole because he over here telling me, these shoes are rare. They're worth hundreds of dollars. You can't find these anywhere. And if you mess them up, I'm gonna mess you up. That's what he told me. So now I'm scared. I'm petrified. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sharpen your focus.
he was though. Exactly, he was. And so, how do y'all think I did on this pair? Good.
Attentive.
Good.
Pay attention.
Bad. Who said bad? Someone said bad. You said bad? Oh, okay. Well, I did good. So, I mean, I was confident. Well, thank you. No, I felt good about myself. I was confident. I did good on this pair. And so, now I have something to add, another service to add to my repertoire, right? Another service that I can do potentially for other people. And so, with these stories in mind, this is takeaway one, right? Be aware of who you surround yourself with. Surround yourself with people who encourage you, inspire you, make you better, right? Speak life into you. My favorite quote that I heard from my roommate is iron sharpens iron, right? So people that sharpen your iron, right? If it wasn't for my grandfather, believing me and encouraging me to keep going, even though we both knew the custom was trash, right? Who knows if I would have kept on going, right? If it wasn't for my barber believing in me, in the fact that I could successfully do this project, a project that I'd never done before, who knows if I would have even tried to do that, right? So having those people around that support you and believe in you and speak life into you and make you better is very important in not only business, but in life in general. That's a fact. So months go by. I'm doing a lot of shoes for Zeke. I'm doing shoes for other people. So now we're about in 2021, right? So I was doing customs, cleanings, right? This pair right here is actually pretty cool. This is another one of Zeke's pairs. So basically, this was a hybrid midsole swap. So I essentially took the bottom of one shoe and the top of the other and put it together to make another shoe, and that was pretty cool. So then we get into 2022, and again, just building and focusing on working on my craft, right? And so I was experimenting a lot. So this is my first time kind of figuring out what maybe a cleaning solution would look like. I was a vendor at an event for the first time. Again, doing other shoes for Zeke, right? In 2022, as you can see it, later on in 2022, it looks a little better, right? The aesthetic is a little bit better. So I was really focusing on how do I market my products, right? Or my service. And so 2022, I was just really experimenting and again, working on my craft. As you can see, my service got better. Again, another pair of Zeke shoes. I did a midsole swap on that. 2023, again, same thing, just working and building on my craft. This is another pair of Zeke shoes. And there's a reason why I keep mentioning Zeke. So a notable pair in 2023 was my graduation pair that I made. I made a custom shoe for when I graduated at Stratford High. That school meant a lot to me, and I gifted it back to the school, and they put it in their trophy case. So as soon as you go into the school and look to the left, it's right in the trophy case, and it meant the world to me. I appreciate it. Another pair is a pair that I made for my grandfather, and I actually have this here too. And the inspiration behind this pair,
Cowboys fan?
Unfortunately, he's a Cowboys fan. I'll pass this around in a second. The inspiration of these was the Nike What The series. So basically, let's say y'all know what Nike Dunks are, right? Like the Panda Dunks. Okay, so there's multiple different colorways, multiple different collaborations throughout the years that came out. So but Nike, every now and then, will take each of those colorways or the iconic colorways and put it on one shoe and call it the What The, right? And so that's where I got the inspiration from for these. So, I mean, as you can see, these are all things that's important to him. My grandfather is Puerto Rican. He likes the Cowboys, unfortunately. Crespo is his last name, so I did it in the Cowboys font. On this shoe, I think that is the left shoe. On the inside of the left shoe is the purple. On the outside, or on the inside of the other shoe is yellow for the Lakers, right? I had to redeem myself. On
Also, there's a wood grain texture. My grandfather's a floor installer. He has a floor installing company. So if you need your floors done, tap into Jose Jose Floor Coverings. And also, it says familia, and then there's a silhouette of our family. So where is our pointer? So I got my grandma here, my grandfather, me as a baby, my uncle, my mom, and his other grandkids, and his oldest son. So those are very important people in his life, very important things. So I wanted to put that in the shoe, and I gave it to him for his 60th, I think, his 60th birthday. So I'll pass this around. And so takeaway number 2, right? Throughout these years, we're at 2023 at this point. Throughout these years, I mentioned Zeke a lot, right? I was working on his shoes a lot. He was my number 1 customer. And there's a reason why he was my number 1 customer. That's because I wasn't getting paid, right? So I was doing this work for free. Now, see, I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking like, bro, you're dumb, right? For 4 years, you were doing free work. Like what? Not getting paid. But this is where takeaway number 2 comes from. You gotta change your mindset, right? So I could have easily was like, man, I ain't doing none of these. You ain't gonna pay me. I could have easily thought like that, right? But I had to change my mindset. One, me and him had a bartering system going on. So a service for a service, right? I do his shoes, I get haircuts. And so, you know, that even to this day, we still have that system going. So I could think either, all right, I ain't doing none of these because I'm not getting paid, or I could shift my mindset and say, you know what? Although I'm not getting paid, at least I'm gaining experience, right? And I'm working on my craft. Because again, this isn't just cleanings that I already know how to do. This is midsole swaps, re-glues, a whole bunch of stuff that I never done before, right? And the repercussions, if I do mess up, is not going to be as drastic working with his shoes than a random customer, right? So although I'm not getting paid, at least I'm getting experience. I'm also building my portfolio, right? Most of my shoes on my Instagram is his shoes. For the longest it was, right? So I'm building my portfolio and I could show people my work and then I could get paid from them, right? I'm also building a deeper connection and deeper bond with Zeke. He's also putting me on to his connections, right? And so Zeke is not just my barber. He is a father figure to me, right? Over this time, we bonded over shoes, but also just through things in life. And I joke around that like I'm his 3rd child, right? And, you know, he comes to my house. I go to his house. I'm interacting with his family. Went on vacations together, dinners together all the time, right? And so we always talk. And it created, having this system and just, you know, altering that mindset, it created this deeper bond. And in this particular case, haircuts, right? I get haircuts for it. I remember I was taking advantage of it. I was getting haircuts 2 times a week for no reason. For no reason. Nowhere to go. It was COVID time. We were locked up. Where am I going? I didn't have no car at the time either. So I was like, but I was taking advantage of it. And so I easily could have said, you know, no to any of these projects. No to any of these projects. And I would have missed out on a whole bunch of opportunities, right? Opportunities to gain experience, build my portfolio, have a deeper connection, get connected with other people. And again, in this case, haircuts. So it's important to, you know, sometimes change your mindset, right? It's okay and it's refreshing to look at things in a different way. And so we get to year 2024. And 2024 was my breakout year for sure. And I wanted to come into 2024 very differently, right? So whether that was how I market my business, pictures, like how I take my pictures, how I do my reels, right, my videos. And I also wanted to keep track of what I was doing because I was doing all of this stuff, but I don't know how many shoes I did in a month or in a year, how much money I was making, how much money I was losing. I didn't know any of that because I wasn't logging it down. All I knew was just taking the pictures, and that's it. That's how I kept track of what I was doing. And so looking back at 2024, right? 2024 was, you know, filled with a lot of highs and lows. And so I'm gonna take y'all through that. So January, I started off again with another pair of Zeke shoes. I did a midsole swap. So basically, had to replace this old midsole, broken down midsole with a new one and repaint it. Right. So it was a good start to the year. And then a couple weeks, you know, I did other projects. I worked on Travis Scott's, Jordan 4s, did other swaps, did customs for my boy Pave. And then in February, I didn't do a single shoe. Right. So on paper, it's a low, right? So I had a low. But then March came around. In March, I had two peaks in 2024. One from March to May, and then the other from July to about November. So it was a pretty good year. And so in March, what started off in March was this pair right here. This custom Pokemon pair that I made. And, I was very proud of this. I'm not going to lie. I was very proud of this. This was the first time I ever did hand painting or did any type of character work, right? The guy who was gifted this, his nickname is Loco Pa or something like that. So they wanted it in the Pokemon, what's it called? Font. There we go. But I was very proud of this. I tried to make like a digital Pokemon card. I don't watch Pokemon, so I didn't really know what I was doing, right? But I made a reel as well to this. I was really excited for this pair. I was really confident. And then we fast forward a couple days later to March 14th. And so on March 14th, on March 14th, I was just doing stuff, right? I was going on Instagram, looking at all the sneaker heads and all the shoe sites and just going in the comments, hit me up, tapping the McCray Footwear services, this, that, and the third, right? And so I happened to do it on this guy called Jimmy Shootron. Jimmy Shootron, a.k.a. Conceited from Wildin' Out. For those of y'all that don't know who Conceited is, he's a battle rapper. He's also an actor or one of the cast members on Nick Cannon's Wildin' Out show. But he's also a crazy sneakerhead. So I hit him up. I said, hit me up for a missile swap. They look like they're about to crumble, right? He responds, nowhere near about to crumble yet. Super strong so far, but I'll keep you in mind if it does need it. And so at first I thought he was giving me like the regular celebrity runaround. Like, I got you. I remember you. I got you. But he didn't. He didn't give me that runaround. He actually gave me the follow, right? So he followed me and I was hyped. I was so hyped. I was coming off of this high of doing the Pokemon custom, and my 4-year anniversary was coming up, right? And then I get a follow from Conceited. I was so hyped. And Conceited was my 600th follower, and I felt like it meant something. And it turned out it did. And so 2 weeks later, which was also 2 days after my 4-year anniversary, I get a blessing from God, really. I get a blessing. So on March 27th, I see this. Hello, SCSU. We are so excited to announce that on Saturday, April 20th, we will have the cast of the hit show Wildin' Out at SCSU. Radio Big Mac, Or Mash, My Heart, My Soul, My Everything, Justina Valentine, and Conceited, right? And so the first thing that I thought of, and I was at Con, right? I was at Con, ironically, and I was at Con, and the first thing I thought was like, I have to go to this. Like, I have to go. I love Wildin' Out. I have to go. The second thing was, I got to see Justina Valentine. I ain't even care about any of the other people. I have to see Justina, right? That's my heart. And then I was like, wait. I gotta see Conceited. Like, there's no way I don't meet Conceited, and I got to make him a custom. I have to. And so the next day, I texted him, right? I was like, why not? I texted him. I said, hey, I was wondering what shoe size are you in Air Force Ones? I wanted to make a custom pair for you as I know you're coming to SCSU and I'm a student at that school. And 3 days later, 3 long days, I was waiting for that reply. He finally replied. Take a guess on what he said. What do you think he said? Size 8. 8. That's it. That's all he said. 8. I mean, I got the reply, but damn, just 8. No, okay, cool. I'm like, what's going on, right? So I took it, right? So he responds, size 8. All right, cool. I called my boy, one of my best friends, Jameer. He was my roommate at the time, and he also works at a shoe store. I hit Jameer up, right? It takes forever for him to answer the phone because he is D&D princess, right? So I got to call him a bunch of times, but I finally got him on the phone. I said, I need a size 8 in Air Force Ones. You got me with that discount? And he got me with that discount, got the shoes, and April 1st, we started, right? And so I had to do a mock-up, figure out what I wanted it to look like, right? So that took a few days. And then we get to 2.5 weeks. I got 2.5 weeks to work on this project now. And I remember I was a student, or I I was living on campus at the time. Right now, I'm a commuter, but I was living on campus at the time. Shout out to Hick. And I had to commute every day for the next 2.5 weeks to back at home, right? I have about a 25-minute commute. And my friends didn't see me. My roommate didn't see me. My family didn't see me. I was commuting. I remember I'll wake up at 9 in the morning at school, go to class till about 2 o'clock, go home, get home around 3 o'clock. And from like 4 to 2 in the morning, I was working on this shoe. And this was multiple days. So this is sleepless nights. I was going through it. I'm not going to lie. And then we fast forward to April 20th. It's the day. And I'm nervous. I'm so nervous, right? And so I see Eric LaCharity outside. He works in the student involvement office. And he's asking people to be in the crowd, like in the game, right? I didn't want to be in no game because, again, I hate public speaking. I don't like, what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be in the game, but I got these shoes, so I'm going to have to, he going to have to get these somehow, some way. So he says, all right, come on. And so I'm scared. I got the shoes in my hand. A whole bunch of things are going on in my head. And this happens. So I have a video. Hopefully it plays, but this happens.
He gone. He gone. He was geeking.
I appreciate. Yeah, I was geeking. I had that awkward one. It's because Justina. I'm telling you, it's just Justina, man. So this is what the shoes look like. I was very proud of this, man. I was very proud of my first celebrity pair. I was very proud. Again, I mean, granted, it doesn't really look like him, but y'all get the point. You get who it's supposed to look like, right? I was very proud. I left very confident, very happy, sending it to my friends, my family. They reposted it, right? It was a big deal. But then I also was like confused and like kind of sad because I was just like, damn, what's next? Right? What's next? Like for the past 2.5 weeks, this was my life, going to school and doing this shoe, right? So what's next? And luckily, God gave me another opportunity. And on May 4th, SneakerCon, one of the biggest sneaker conventions, was coming to Boston. And so I figured, you know what? Why not? Right? Why not? I'm bored. Let's do it. So I had 2 weeks to prepare for SneakerCon. Man, let me tell you about this SneakerCon, man. This is what my table looked like, right? It was all right. Nothing crazy, nothing too crazy. First time. But at this point, I'm going to just vent to y'all because I'm still mad about this. So we're going to put a plug onto this story. This table, right, this spot that I had to pay for was $300. It was $300, and I was tight about that because at that point, I didn't have this, right? I didn't have the none of that stuff, actually. I didn't have none of the TV. I didn't have none of that. I bought that TV. I bought the cover here. I bought more business cards, right? I bought the cases that the shoes are in. It was an expensive thing. And on top of that, I got a Ford F-150. That's a gas guzzler. So I got to pay all to Boston, get a hotel. It was a lot. And then on top of that, I busted my lip trying to set this up, right? And I went by myself, which was the first mistake. I shouldn't have went by myself. I busted my lip doing it. I was already mad. I'm setting all of this stuff up. Now I got electricity, right? I got, things that need to get put in a power source. So I'm like, all right, where's the outlet for all this stuff? So I can't find it. So I asked the guy to come over. And I say, yo, where can I plug this stuff in? He goes and tells me, oh, that's a $265 charge. For what? Right? So now I call my grandfather too. Like I call my grandfather. I'm like, yo, grandpa, I didn't even want the money. I had the money at that point. I didn't even want nothing. I just wanted to vent to them. I'm like, yo, they scamming me. They scamming me, right? Right? Like, but I paid it. I paid the fee, and this is what the setup looked like. Now, I'm gonna show y'all this video of what happened during SneakerCon. I want y'all to pay attention to what I was doing, what I wasn't doing, right? People around me, just pay attention and analyze this video. And then it's gonna take us to takeaway number 3. Look how many people just passing me. This is ridiculous.
Oh man. You know what I say?
What happened?
Body language, bro.
Body language?
You look like you want to be there right there.
That is true. I was tired.
Networking. You should be like, oh, yo, come check this out. Like,
Okay.
it's demeanor.
Yup. Yup. There you go. Anyone else? Anyone else? But yeah, so I was waiting for people to come to me, right? I had business cards in my hands, did not pass a single one out. You saw how many people passed, right? And so the reason why I was doing that was because I was operating out of fear, right? I was scared. So takeaway number 3 is don't operate out of fear. Of course, it's easier said than done, right? But it's important that you take risks, right? The biggest risk you take in life is not taking one. So I had all of this traffic passing me, and I was right in the beginning. So I was at the entranceway pretty much. I didn't hand a single card out to any of those people in this video. Now, that video was 1 minute long, right? But I cropped that video. That was a 7-minute video, right? And SneakerCon was from 7 in the morning to 7 p.m. and the actual event started at 10. From 10 to 7, I was doing that the whole time. Granted, people came up to me, took some business cards on my table, but I was scared and I was operating off of fear, right? And it's very important that you don't do that, because if not, you're going to miss out opportunities like that, right? All good things happen on the other side of fear. Another thing about that event is that, again, I was at the entrance. So I was here. The entrance is probably where that door is at. And guess who came out from that entrance? Conceited. Conceited came out again, right? I couldn't for the life of me approach him at all. I couldn't. He's right there. His face is right there on my TV screen, right? I just saw you 2 weeks ago. You just followed me a month ago. I couldn't walk up to him because I was scared, right? I didn't want to be rejected. I don't know if he remembered me or not. I was operating off of fear with the other people passing by because, again, I didn't want to get rejected, right? But it's very important. What happened?
Is he wearing on his feet?
Not my shoes. That's another thing. I was like, damn. That's why I didn't want to approach me. I was a little salty about it. I'm not gonna lie. But I was operating off fear, man. And I was missing out on opportunities, because if I were to pass out my business cards to all those people that passed by, who knows who I would have approached, right? Who knows who I would have connected to? And I missed out on a whole bunch of opportunities. So takeaway number 3, don't operate out of fear, right? Don't let fear rule your life or dictate what you do. Right? Yeah, exactly. And so that was May, right? That was May 4th. After that, business was slow. Didn't really do much. Then we get into June. In June, I only worked on 1 pair of shoes. So on paper, it was a low, but it was a personal high for me, because that's when I was an orientation ambassador. I became an orientation ambassador here. So that took up my whole entire month. And so this pair is it's called Black Cat Jordan 4s, right? Quick little cleaning. But this pair right here single-handedly changed the trajectory of McCray Footwear services after that, because of this video. So I don't have the video here because he was cussing a little too much, but I posted, like captioned my prices, right? He at the time I had 4 services, 15, 25, 50, and 80, right? He got the $15 cleaning. So what it come with reaction video was really good. And it kind of went like southern viral a little bit, right? So slowly but surely people wanted to get their shoes clean, like for $15, right? And so in July, I did the most pairs that I ever did in a single month. I did 32 pairs of shoes from July 1st to July 30th. I did 32 pairs of shoes. That was the most shoes I ever did. I did more shoes that month than the 6 months prior, right? And so this was a cool little project too, where I did an air unit swap. Again, another one of Zeke's shoes, right? That was a cool little project. Again, this is August. So July and August, I was doing my thing, man. I was doing my thing. I was very proud. At the time in August too, I changed my prices because I needed to fix that. Like there was too many people, right? It got to a point. It was a good problem to have. Is either I pay someone else to help me do it, or I increase my prices and potentially, lose a couple customers because they were complaining about 15 and 25. So I was like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you, right? But to my surprise, like there were still people tapping in. There's still people tapping in. You gotta go? All right, buddy. I appreciate it. But I was surprised that people, were paying the prices. It didn't jump up crazy, but if people complain about the 15, 25 price point, I don't know how they're gonna react to the rest, to the change. And then we get to November. And I got the opportunity to be in the Crescent magazine here at Southern. And I made a custom pair for the interim vice president, Dr. D. I'm very proud of this pair. This is what the pair looked like if you haven't seen it around. I'm very proud of this pair. And it was a long time to take this pair too. It took about 3 weeks. 3 weeks to do. But I was very proud of that. And I gifted it on an event that I was hosting. I believe it was open house, Chaz? I think it was, right? It was open house. Surprised him with it. He does not like surprises, but I surprised him with it. And that also just opened doors for me, right? So now, that was November. So in December, I took the month off. I needed a personal break, right? I ended up being a commuter, right? My mental health wasn't the greatest at the time. And so I took a break. So we get to 2025. Now we're in 2025. And my goal for 2025 is just to focus on marketing, really. I don't know if y'all seen my videos around, but I've been going on a marketing run, right? I'm over here as Spider-Man. I'm over here as Kendrick Lamar. I'm over here making a song and stuff, right? I'm over here doing a split. I'm just throwing things at the wall and see what sticks, right? And I don't know if y'all saw, but Valentine's Day just passed. And I made a Valentine's Day custom shoe, and also like a 80s portrait type of thing, right? Just focusing on the marketing. I also made a music video. Right? I made a parody music video to Usher's Lovers and Friends. So I made the video here. Also did other promo here. Y'all not ready for that greatness, so I didn't put it up there. And I also did like digital Valentine's Day cards regarding my business, right? Your one-on-one, like a McCray Footwear Services custom, right? So I'm just focusing on marketing. And so what's next for McCray Footwear Services? Again, I'm focusing on marketing as of literally in the next, at 3 o'clock, right? At 3 o'clock, y'all be the first to know. But my 5-year anniversary is coming up, March 25th. That's in 15 days. So at 3 o'clock, I have a video that is about to be posted, or that's going to be posted. And I wanted to do something special, for my 5-year anniversary. So I'm going to do a giveaway, right? I'm going to give away a pair of Nike Air Force Ones, all whites, not the all blacks, because that's treacherous work if I did that to y'all. all white Air Force Ones to one lucky winner in their size completely free. So that video will come out regarding the details. So, at 3 p.m., tap into McCray Footwear services. Also, like I said, I did a parody music video, right? And I plan on continuing to do more. So next month, I plan Danny Davis. Yeah. What's going on? Y'all mad late. The presentation's over. Y'all mad late. But I appreciate the support. Anyways, next month, the plan is to make another video. So I'm going to do a parody video to Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. I already got the song down. I just need to do the video. So I need people in the background, I need people that could dance, whatever. So if y'all want to be a part of that, y'all most definitely can. I plan on doing it on this campus. I don't know the logistics of it yet, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And so before we leave, because I know y'all need to get to class, where's my clicker? See, I already lost it again. Oh no. I just want to do a recap, right? I want y'all to leave with some. So recap on these takeaways. So takeaway number 1, again, be aware of who you surround yourself with. Surround yourself with people that encourage you, uplift you, inspire you, make you better, sharpen your iron, right? Takeaway number 2, change your mindset. That goes back to me and Zeke's bartering system, right? I'm doing work for free. That's not necessarily for free because I changed my mindset and looked at all the positive and the pros instead of just the con of me not getting paid. Takeaway number 3, don't operate out of fear. Again, y'all saw me there for a minute, just standing there, card in my hands, didn't pass it to a single person.
Right? Don't operate in fear. All good things happen on the other side of fear. Takeaway 4, it's okay to fail, right? Throughout the story, you see me fail. You've seen me fail, right? But it's how you come back that is very important. So being resilient, right? And takeaway number 5, which is by far, I think, the most important one, is don't forget to tap in to McCray Footwear Services. I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much.